Hello everyone, this is Al Red Sox Fan coming to you from Al Red Sox Fan YouTube channel. Hope all is well. We're going to bring you some more wrestling, but this time we'll be using Tom Vogel's Wrestling's Finest on the PC, an absolutely wonderful game. We're going to get back to Super Tournament 1, big matchup as we're coming to a conclusion of Round 1. Most of the matches are up on the channel. There are a few offline, and this is a biggie. Bruno Sammartino versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. All matches are lights out matches where anything can go. No love lost here between these two great grapplers. Who shall advance to the second round? Stay tuned and find out. The Living Legend versus Stone Cold up next on the channel. So it's Sammartino versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. Let's set the tournament up. Play our tournament. So far advancing in our tournament, Ric Flair defeated Dick the Bruiser. The Crusher defeated the Destroyer. Dusty Rhodes in an epic defeated Hulk Hogan. Bruiser Brody wrecked Lex Luger. Triple H destroyed Chris Adams. Jeff Jarrett got past the girthy one, Haystacks Calhoun. Shawn Michaels somehow found his way past Abdullah the Butcher and that nasty fork of his. Terry Funk, in a Battle of Texas, defeated Stan Hansen. Chris Jericho defeated Ken Patera. Nick Bockwinkel over Rick Martel. Bob Backlund took out Pedro Morales. Andre the Giant was expected to advance against Gorgeous George, but my God, the Gorgeous One gave him trouble. I wish I did that one online. The Rock easily defeated Vern Gagne. And Bill Goldberg had a tough time with Buddy Roberts. Again, that was not online. This one is online. We have Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Bruno Sammartino. We're using Sammartino's 1960s card. And then we click on Start Match.
This is a lights out match. Referee's only purpose in there to count a match.
And it's going to be a lights out, no DQ match. Just want to make sure I have the... That's good. Okay. Oops. Let's bring that back up. Alright. It's going to be, as I stated, a lights out, no DQ match. The computer will control both Austin and Sammartino. I will just be calling the match. JD's joined us. Hope all is well to the Dragon, JD. Check out that wonderful channel for all your PlayStation action. As JD says, Austin, oh hell yeah. So again, this is a lights out, no DQ match. Not champion and champion, excuse me. The computer will control both. There's no time limit. Let's hit OK.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall.
Let's go to the pre-match action. And because the computer controls both, ladies and gentlemen, the regular sanction action is about to end. The arena lights will be turned off briefly. This signifies the end of the regular show. When the arena lights come back on, stay tuned for an unsanctioned lights out match. And now the lights will go back on, and here we go. Let's give you the particulars. Prediction for Stone Cold Steve Austin and Bruno Sammartino. I don't want a streak or... I don't want a steak or prime rib. Streak. Speak of the English, Al. Some deal here. Both are great, and the decision is a tough one. Steve Austin should retain the title in this championship match. Did I click on championship match? I must have. Well, it's not really a championship match. It's just to advance in the tournament. So they're picking Stone Cold Steve Austin. Bruno Sammartino, 5'10", 265 pounds, by way of Abruzzo, Italy, now living in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, will face Stone Cold Steve Austin, the man with the stunner, 6'2", 252, Victoria, Texas, USA. Both grapplers are in the ring, and we prepare for action. Bruno, they try to hook up here. Bruno tries to go for Austin's hair. That's a bad mistake. He's as bald as a cue ball. Austin easily counters that. Austin, quick suplex of Bruno Sammartino, slamming the living legend to the mat. Excellent job by Stone Cold Steve Austin. Sammartino has control, and Sammartino throws Austin right out of the ring. Sammartino, taking it to the streets, nails Stone Cold Steve Austin with a steel chair shot right to the face. Austin's lower lip is busted wide open. Sammartino strikes him again, tosses the chair aside, and puts the big boot to Stone Cold Steve Austin. Sammartino sends Austin, a bloody Austin, back into the ring. Sammartino looking to set something up here. Sammartino looking to strike the knee to the head, and booyah! He does. Sammartino is going to go for the pin.
1, 2.
And Austin kicks out before the count of 3. So early action. After that suplex by Stone Cold Steve Austin, it's been all Bruno. Bruno again wants to advance. Austin did not have kind words for the living legend, and Bruno remembered that. Sammartino now with a beautiful hip toss sends Austin hurling across the ring. Sammartino advances, and Sammartino unloads big boots to Stone Cold's bald cranium, stomping on Stone Cold. Sammartino waiting for Stone Cold to get up. Sammartino has Stone Cold up. He puts him in the backbreaker. He puts him in the backbreaker. He will not get the submission. We'll just hit cancel, and now Stone Cold Steve Austin wiggles his way out of it. Sammartino stomps on him. Sammartino nails Stone Cold Steve Austin with a lariat and sends him over the top rope and onto the concrete here at the undisclosed location of this lights out no DQ match. Steve Austin on the arena floor. Sammartino looking to beat the bejesus out of him. Steve Austin trying to get up. Sammartino grabs him and sends him into the ring post. Not once, but twice. Oh my Lord, busting Austin right open. Austin is a bloody mess. Austin will rue the day of what he said about Sammartino, it seems. Sammartino looking to make quick work of Stone Cold Steve Austin. Sammartino goes for the body slam, tremendous body slam, as he sent Stone Cold into the ring, quickly scooped him up and planted him into the canvas. Sammartino now stomping away at the legs of Stone Cold Steve Austin. It has been all Bruno Sammartino. We're about almost 5 minutes into this match. Sammartino goes for a neck hold. He's clamping down on the neck of Stone Cold Steve Austin, really applying the pressure. Sammartino slowing the action, and you can see the blood from the lip and the forehead of Stone Cold Steve Austin. That is a lot of blood. Sammartino really working that neck area now as he keeps Austin on the mat. Sammartino now brings Austin to his feet, scoops him up, and slams him once again. He goes for the cover. This could be an absolute annihilation of Stone Cold Steve Austin. 1, 2, and Austin just kicks out. Sammartino cannot believe it. He really drove Stone Cold Steve Austin into the canvas with a tremendous body slam. Stone Cold is in stone cold trouble, taking damage after damage. Sammartino again scoops up a seemingly lifeless Stone Cold Steve Austin, a bloody Steve Austin. Sammartino has him like a sack of potatoes walking around the ring, and he slams him into the canvas once again. Sammartino, he is irritated. Sammartino remembers the words that Stone Cold Steve Austin said regarding the living legend. Sammartino picks him up by the chin. A bloody Steve Austin takes a booyah right hand to the jaw. Sammartino lifts him up again, and booyah, another right hand to the jaw by the Italian strongman. Sammartino lifts him up for the third time, and one more time for good measure. Booyah! Snapping the jaw and head of Stone Cold Steve Austin. Austin drops to the canvas. A bloody mess. Blood pooling up on the mat. Sammartino stalking. Sammartino waiting for it. Stone Cold groggy gets up. Sammartino behind him. He scoops him up into the backbreaker. He's looking for the submission.
2.
And Austin wiggles his way out of it. Sammartino is incensed. Slams Austin to the canvas and stomps on his head. It's been all Bruno Sammartino. Bruno, in frustration, locks up with a bloody Stone Cold Steve Austin. They maul and brawl along the ropes. Now Austin with a groin shot. Steve Austin goes low as they were grappling on the ropes into Sammartino's sausage and meatballs. Anything's legal here. This could be the turn of events that Stone Cold Steve Austin needs. Now Austin stomping away on Sammartino with the big boot. Austin tries to send Sammartino into the ropes. Sammartino counters. Sammartino tries to roll Austin up. Austin gets out of it. Now Austin sends Sammartino flying over the top ropes. What testicular fortitude by Stone Cold Steve Austin. And Austin has gone insane. Austin grabs the ring bell and smashes Sammartino in the noggin. He continues to smash away at the living legend. Sammartino is gashed wide open upon his forehead. And Austin smashing away now with right hands. Austin has turned the tide of battle. Austin begins to bite the bloody Bruno Sammartino in the forehead. Austin continues to batter Sammartino outside the ring. Austin throws Sammartino into the crowd and is pounding away with chairs. Now Austin stomping away on Bruno Sammartino. A big boot to Sammartino while he was on all fours. Sammartino is busted wide open. Unbelievable. What violence. The fans are loving it here at the undisclosed location. What a comeback by Stone Cold Steve Austin. For the first 4.5 minutes, it was Bruno Sammartino beating the living shit out of Stone Cold Steve Austin. We can say the word shit because it's a dark match. And now Stone Cold Steve Austin, the bloody, angry, bald man, has come back viciously to get his pound of flesh. It's more like 10 to 50 pounds of flesh. Sammartino and Austin lock up. Both bloody grapplers in just over 9 minutes are exhausted. They have dealt out tremendous damage. Now it's Sammartino putting a knee, possibly into the groin of Stone Cold Steve Austin's Franks and Beans. Sammartino goes for the bear hug. He has locked in the bear hug. He is squeezing and squeezing and squeezing. And Stone Cold Steve Austin is going to clap the ears. And he claps him again. And Sammartino breaks the hold. Sammartino breaks the hold. Sammartino hits Stone Cold Steve Austin with a European uppercut, snapping the rattlesnake's head straight back. Stone Cold goes down to a knee. He is very groggy. Sammartino comes flying in as Stone Cold dangerously close to those ropes. The knee sends Stone Cold Steve Austin out between the ropes and on the concrete floor. Sammartino and Austin banging away at each other. Sammartino now sends Austin back in the ring. Austin trying to regroup. Both grapplers a bloody mess. Sammartino puts the boot into Austin's midsection, scoops him up, and slams him upon the mat. Sammartino now brings Austin up and throws him over the top rope once again onto the concrete floor. Sammartino is just mauling Austin on the concrete floor, stomping away with big boots. Now drops the knee into the lower back of Stone Cold Steve Austin. He is rubbing Austin's face, that bloody face of Stone Cold Steve Austin, into the concrete floor. Sammartino now has something in his hands. It is the timekeeper's hammer. Remember, it was Austin who struck Sammartino with the bell, and now Sammartino just banging away with that hammer on the bald cranium of Stone Cold Steve Austin, blood spewing everywhere. Action moves back into the ring. Steve Austin and Sammartino, two bloody grapplers, grappling for supremacy and to advance in this tournament to round 2. Austin and Sammartino rolling along the ropes now into the turnbuckle. The referee gets between these two bloody behemoths. And Austin, as the referee for some reason tries to break them up, nails Sammartino with a right hand. And Sammartino buckles, goes down to a knee. And as that happens, quickly Stone Cold Steve Austin lifts up Sammartino and sends him head over heels over the turnbuckle and onto the concrete. The violence is intense. Stone Cold Steve Austin is battering Bruno along the concrete floor now, stomping away. Stone Cold finds that bloody timekeeper's hammer. He's waiting, telling Sammartino, "You son of a bitch, get up," and boom! He nails Sammartino with the hammer. Sammartino is rolled back into the ring. Stone Cold looking to set up the mud stop. Sammartino grabs his foot, twists his ankle, brings Stone Cold Steve Austin to the mat. Sammartino lifts up Stone Cold Steve Austin and once again throws him over the top rope onto the concrete floor.
Look at this.
Unbelievable. Sammartino is pounding away. Both fighters, grapplers, headshots, body shots. Sammartino getting the better of it. Sammartino rakes Austin's eyes. Austin comes back and rakes Sammartino's eyes. Sammartino goes for a chair shot. Booyah! Austin comes back with a chair shot. Back and forth they go. Pools of blood now can be seen on the concrete outside the ring. Sammartino got the better of the action. Sammartino and Austin now get back into the ring. Sammartino. Austin throws a wild right hand. Sammartino blocks it. Takes Austin to the canvas. He's applying an arm breaker. Austin trying to reach to the ropes. He has grabbed onto the rope. Sammartino refuses to let go. The referee trying to make Sammartino let go of the hold, and finally Sammartino does, and he puts the boot into Austin's shoulder and neck area. Remember, Sammartino was working that neck area. Sammartino comes down with an axe chop, bear hugs Stone Cold Steve Austin, and again sends him over the top rope. Sammartino attacks Austin as Sammartino is trying to gain some composure back. Austin was trying to make his way into the ring. Sammartino stomps him back down onto the concrete floor. Now, Stone Cold Steve Austin trying to get back in the ring, lunges and hits Sammartino in the nether regions. Stone Cold looking to set up the pile driver, but Sammartino flips him over his back. As Sammartino drops down to his knees, both grapplers a bloody mess. Sammartino now has control, waiting for Austin to get up. And he drops the huge knee right on Stone Cold Steve Austin as he was trying to rise. Sammartino hooks the leg. No! Austin is able to put his leg on the ropes. Austin looks lifeless, but he had enough life and wherewithal to put his leg on the ropes. The referee, as Sammartino says count, the referee says no, break. Leg on the ropes. Austin has taken tremendous damage here. Bruno lunges towards Austin. Austin ducks away. Austin puts a knee into Sammartino's stomach. And Austin goes for the stunner and he nails it. He nails the stunner on Bruno Sammartino. He's going to go for the pin. Unbelievable. It could be over.
1,
2.
2.
And Sammartino reaches the rope somehow. It was all but over. And Bruno Sammartino is able to grab the rope. It was more with his foot, his left leg. And that saves Sammartino. Stone Cold Steve Austin out of nowhere put the knee into the stomach of Sammartino, nailed him with the stunner, but they were again very close to the ropes, and that saves Sammartino. Austin sends Sammartino through the ropes onto the concrete floor. Sammartino needs to dig down deep at this point as Austin is pummeling him around the ring. Chair shots. Sammartino is a bloody mess. What a comeback by Stone Cold Steve Austin. Action now moves back into the ring as Austin throws the living legend into the ring. Austin nails Sammartino with a powerful forearm to the side of the head. Sammartino goes down to a knee. Austin now with a tremendous hip toss, rolls quickly up on Sammartino. He's going for the pin. Sammartino kicks out at 1. Holy cow. Unbelievable. We are 15 minutes into this match. Austin again sends Sammartino out of the ring onto the concrete floor. And what happened? Sammartino is badly cut. He is badly cut, and there's going to be tremendous controversy here. The officials have stopped the match. Holy cow! Sammartino is incensed. Steve Austin will advance due to the cut, and Sammartino is screaming at the officials. And I think we gave Stone Cold Steve Austin, by accident, an unfair advantage by making him a champion by accident. But what a match. That's not going to change. So Stone Cold Steve Austin, I'm trying to figure out where to put this. Let's put this right here. And again, this was not a championship match. I just forgot to uncheck that. What a match. Blood and brawl. Sammartino had over 100 more damage points that he put on Stone Cold Steve Austin. You could see that. Let's move this over here. Down here. Let's do that. You can see Austin 325 damage points against him. Sammartino 262. But they stop it due to the blood. Really, that is shocking. This is a no DQ match. Well, it was no DQ. They just thought, the commission thought, and again, unsanctioned, but there are I guess there's commission members here. So Stone Cold Steve Austin will advance very controversially into the second round. There might be a rematch down the line between Bruno Sammartino and Stone Cold Steve Austin. This was a 4.5 star matchup. It was tremendous, folks. Pin attempts. Austin had 1, Sammartino had 3. Austin nailed Sammartino with a stunner, but it was too close to the ropes, and he was able to get the leg on the rope. And prior to that, Sammartino had a tremendous body slam. It looked all but over for Stone Cold Steve Austin, but he too was close enough to the ropes to put his leg on it. Sammartino really was able to 7 specialty attempts, and he was successful on them all. Stone Cold only had 1 specialty attempt, but it was the stunner, and he could have won it. He does win it on the cuts. So Stone Cold Steve Austin will advance in the tournament, but there will be a rematch, a non-tournament rematch, obviously, down the line. That is a shocker to me. Stone Cold Steve Austin advances to the next round, and again, I think by accident we gave him an unfair advantage by clicking chip, but whatever it was, Stone Cold Steve Austin wins it. JD says, Austin 316 says, I just whooped your ass. Well, they both got an ass whooping, but Stone Cold was the champion. Sammartino still incensed. He cannot believe they stopped it. Very similar to when he was trying to regain the title against superstar Billy Graham. They stopped it on cuts. What an intense match. Let's hit OK. Save match text. Hit OK. Okay, so if we did this correctly, now we go to the tournament. And you can see Stone Cold Steve Austin advances. Our next match, Bret the Hitman Hart against superstar Billy Graham. And I got to make sure that there be no champion. I don't know if that mattered, but I think it does give him a slight advantage. But it was a hell of a matchup. And again, what a crazy finish. They stop a lights-out, no DQ match on blood. But you can see, I mean, he had 94 cut points against him. Austin had 56 cut points. This was a bloody brawl. JD, 90s kids grew up with Austin in the Attitude Era. Favorite of all time. As JD says, let's go Hart. Well, yeah, I stopped watching wrestling, but I did start watching again with Austin and The Rock. And I watch AEW now. I'm back into it for a bit, and I'm enjoying it. What a great match. What a great match. And Stone Cold Steve Austin is victorious. 4.5. It's almost a 5-star match. Went 15 minutes and 42 seconds. Again, Bruno Sammartino incurs some bad cuts around the eyes. A wrestling official of the organization comes to the ring and is visibly upset with the referee. The official immediately orders the match stop due to the condition of Bruno Sammartino. Sammartino screams at the official. He wanted to continue. Austin is victorious. Steve Austin leaves the ring, advancing again. He advances to the second round. We might have given him an unfair advantage by making him a champion. Again, no one should be a champion, but what a tremendous match. Back and forth. It was a lot of Sammartino early. Then it was a lot of Austin, and then back and forth for the final, what would you say, 5 minutes? And Austin landed Sammartino looked like he had Austin beat with a body slam, and he was going for the pin. He had a good shot at getting that pin. I think it was in the 40s, and 18, so he had a decent shot. But Austin put his leg on the ropes. Then Austin planted a knee into Sammartino's stomach and hit him with the stunner. And he was out. Sammartino was out. It would have been a miracle if he kicked out, but he was close enough to the ropes to put his leg on the ropes. The match continued only to be stopped on cuts. What a wild match. That was a lot of fun. Hope you enjoyed it. I'd like to thank JD. Check out his wonderful YouTube channel for all your PlayStation action gaming. And Cutter Historical. Thank you very much. Check out his wonderful channel. Lots of fun stuff on both JD and Cutter Historical. As Cutter Historical says, nobody beats a living legend. Well, unfortunately, if you're a Sammartino fan, as I am, and I like Stone Cold Steve Austin also, but I'm a Sammartino fan. Sammartino goes down to defeat via cuts, shades and reminiscence of, again, when he tried to regain the title against superstar Billy Graham, and they stopped it at Madison Square Garden due to cuts. JD says, I've seen clips of AEW, and I watch clips of WWE. I haven't watched an actual episode in years. AEW's not bad. Again, it goes from goofy to really hardcore. Gives everyone a little bit of something. Too many high spots for my... All of wrestling's too many high spots now, or high-flying moves, however you want to put it. Too many false finishes, but... It's fun. Nurse Teresa and I and Little Wyatt, we watch. We try to figure out the storylines. It's like watching a TV show. So we're going to Worcester on Wednesday, next Wednesday, to watch the matches. You might see us on TV. Who knows? All right. Well, thank you very much. It was a lot of fun. Hope you enjoyed it. Stay safe. Be smart. Treat people the way you want to be treated. Greatly appreciate your time. If you enjoyed the stream and you want, hit the like button. Check out the other wonderful content creators in our community, such as JD and Cutter Historical, and many, many others. Stone Cold Steve Austin advances to round 2 of the tournament, as this bout is stopped due to blood loss by Bruno Sammartino. Both grapplers were highly damaged, highly violent, and highly kicking the shit out of one another, but it's Austin 316 who comes out on top. The living legend is disappointed. A rematch down the line, most likely, but not in this tournament. So, take care, God bless, see you soon, love you all.